Good morning, everyone. We are reading number 5. So today, once again, I'm Juan Cañete, and today we discuss about early Filipino civilization. Now, the history of the Philippines. And studying the early Filipino civilization, we have four well-known authorities who root and observe the Filipinos tradition as well as the customs and tradition. And we focus to the Antonio de Morga. Antonio de Morga wrote titled Successos de las Islas Filipinas. In English, it is Events in the Philippine Island. So he will explain that all these islands are mini district rich in placers and mines of gold, a metal which natives dig and work. However, since advent of Spaniards in the land, the natives proceed more slowly in this and content themselves with what they already possess in jewels and gold and goods handed down from antiquity and inherited from their ancestors. So he explained also that the managed the cell, which is square and made of linen and hosted on a support or yard, made of two thick bamboos, which serves as a mast. Thus all the ships and its crew are covered and protected. The language all the Pentadus and Bikayas is one of the same by which they understand one another when they talking or even when they writing with the letters and characters of their own which they possesses. The common manners of writing among the natives is on leaves of trees and on bamboo bark throughout the island throughout the islands in the bamboo bark. So the Philippines has the different forms of language. It depends on the places and the traditions. The native throughout the islands can write excellently with certain characters, almost like the Greek or Arabic. These characters are 15 in all. Three are vowels which are used as R5, the consonant numbers 12, and each of all of them combined with a certain dots or kumas and to signify whatever one wishes to write as fluently and easily as done with our Spanish alphabet. In social classes, there are three conditions of persons among the natives of this island and into which this government is divided. The marriage of the customs of the Philippines before and until now, especially to the Muslim people, before they got married, the family of the man will give a dowry to the family of or the parents of the woman. The wife will furnish nothing for the marriage until she had inherited and from her parents. This marriage were annulled due to solve slight causes with examinations and judgment of the relatives of both parties and of the old men, who act as the mediators in the affairs. At such a time, the man took the dowry unless it happened that the separated through the husband's fault, for then it was not returned to him and the wife's parents kept it. Inheritance, all the legitimate children inherited equally from their parents whatever property they had acquired. If there were any movable or landed property which they had received from the parents, such as went to the nearest relatives and the collateral side of the stock. The trading methods and practices. The customary methods of trading has by bartering or one of the another such as the food, cloth, cattle, foods, lands, houses, and etc. Sometimes a price intervened which was paid in gold as agreed upon, or in metal balls proof from the China crimes were punished and requisite as the aggressive parties they had among themselves many expressions and words which they regarded as the highest insults. In terms of the religious and beliefs before the ancient Filipino, they worshipped the sun and the moon and made the fields of drunken revels to the junction of these bodies. They worshipped the yellow-colored bird that dwells in the woods called Batala, then even worship and adore the crocodile when they are see them by kneeling down, clapping their hands because of their harm, and these are sealed from those reptiles. And that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Cañete. I am Marvin J. M. Collado, and we are now going to identify what type of source being used in this topic. Morgan's account was originally referred to as Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, or in English, Events in the Philippine Islands, which was recognized as primary source of the history. This primary source provides a narrative of the event in the Philippines from the first European discoveries to the east of his own time. It was published in Mexico in 1609. This topic, Morris' account of early Filipino civilization, is based on a primary source. Professor Zafra evaluates and interprets this Morris account created during a historical time to explain a specific historical occurrence. Professor Zafra also did not include all everything from the Morgus account in his section of this book. Instead, focusing on the eighth chapter or chapter 8 of the Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, which covers Morga's observation and many facets of Filipino lives. In conclusion, this source will be classified as secondary source. This topic of early Filipino civilization in Morga's account is part of Professor Zafra's published book, Readings in a Philippine History or Readings in Philippine History. Thank you.
So thank you for that, Mr. Collado. Hi everyone, I am Aira Princess Escasano. So I am going to discuss the question, are there controversies in this topic? Yes, there are two controversies that is prevalent in this topic. These are the island of Tendaya and the direction of writing followed by the earliest Filipino. The island of Tendaya became controversial since various views came out during determining where its exact location is. Accordingly, Tendaya is one of the said islands in Filipinas. Father Urdaneta stated that it is located far to the east and past the meridian of Maloco. Thus, a mercator located this in Panay, and a well-known author named Francisco Colin located it in Leyte, between Abuyog and Cavalian. Opposite to this view, others said it is in the south of Samar or the Ibabaw. Moreover, there are also source documents stated that there is no such island as Tindaya. But in accordance to the Legazpi's expedition, the island Tindaya derived from a chief's name of which this chief is the talk of the island, Indians. Nevertheless, Spaniards continued to give this name to the southwestern of Samar, and its southeastern part is called Ibabaw or Zibabaw, while its northern part is called Samar. On the other hand, the direction of writing followed by the earliest Filipino became controversial since this subject have given rise to varied opinions and theories among scholars. They argue whether ancient Filipinos' writing follows the direction horizontal or vertical. According to Chirino, San Antonio, Zuniga, and Legentil, that our ancestors write in a direction vertical, from top to bottom. On the other hand, Colin, Isguera, and Marchi believe that it is in the same direction, however, it is in the opposite way, which means that our ancestor follows the direction vertical but starts from the bottom to the top. Contrary to this alignment are Pedro Marcela and Sinibaldo Dimas. They asserted that it is the horizontal direction, from left to right. However, as Dr. Jose Rizal set forth his view, he stated that our ancestor wrote in both ways, whether vertically or horizontally. In addition to this, Dr. Pardo de Tavera stated that ancient Filipino alphabet's writing is the same as the Malaysian. It is a horizontal direction from left to right and customary to the inscribed of Hindu origin. Justice Ignacio Villamor agreed to what Dr. Tavera has said. This was what appears in the Villarmeno and his study of documents and signatures. He concluded that ancient Filipinos' writing follows the horizontal direction from left to right. So that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Casano. I am Christine Marie Constantino, and now we're going to delve onto the relevance of the topic to the Philippine history. As we heard earlier, the topic is all about the early Filipino civilization with regards to Morga's account. And now I have summarized the three main points regarding the relevance of the topic to the Philippine history. First, we gain insight into different elements of Filipino life through Morga's observation, since Morga's observation or Morga's account tackles about Filipino lives, including writing systems, marriage tradition, and many more. Number two, we will have a better understanding of our own authenticity in terms of culture and identity. Number three, we may connect it to bigger trends and tales that reveals something relevant to us now. Since even if we are not we don't have witness and experience the real event from the past, with a book or the writing of Morga, we reveal something relevant to us now in this present time. Lastly, we must not we must also remember what Rizal had stated, that to foretell the destiny of a nation, it is necessary to open the book that tells of her past. Given that, this Morga's observation and account regarding the first civilization could foretell our destiny or the destiny of our nation. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Miss Constantino. So I'll proceed to the relevance of the topic, the new Filipino generation. So we are all aware that history is a big part of our life. Without history, we won't be able to have a life that we currently have. Other than that, the account of Morga is composed of detailed information about the happenings of the life of the native Filipinos. Based on his account, the life of the native Filipinos is quite different from what we have right now in terms of clothing, religion, marriage customs, social status, and literacy. Hence, it is beneficial for each one of us and to the new Filipino generation to be educated enough about history and the life of the native Filipinos so that we can foresee their experiences and what kind of life they live on. So there are three things that the new Filipino generation may attain from our topic. First is develop a comprehensive understanding of the past events. So as I mentioned earlier, that history is part of our life. So we must study and comprehend every detail that it contains to develop a comprehensive understanding. So on Morgan's account, the life of the Filipino is not easy. And the new Filipino generation may able to understand the basics of the society. So the account of Morga may help us better understand the new Filipino generation, make a deeper understanding on the things that happened in the past, and be able to understand the behaviors of the society and the people. And the life that we have right now is impossible to attain without the help of our ancestors who are brave enough to fight for our freedom. Second is history would shape and tune us. Our national hero Jose Rizal has a high hope for the new generation because he believes that the new Filipino generations is the key to have a better and peaceful life. That's why the new Filipino generation must attain knowledge and enhance it to have a voice for injustice, unfair systems, and leadership of a nation. Hence, history would have a shape. Hence, history would shape and hone us to be a better person and have a nation that nationalism would tranquil. Lastly, history would help us better understand our own culture and identity with that and accept it wholeheartedly. So, overall, the history would shape and hone us and the new Filipino generations to have a better life and so that nationalism would tranquil. That's all. Thank you. So for the realization of Casano.
So I realized that it is inherent in our Filipino blood to be competent. It seems that even before, ancient Filipinos or our ancestors do not have enough knowledge or of carpentry and building. As also, we all know that our ancestors don't have the capacity to make themselves study in a prestige or ordinary school. Yet they are still being known for their craftsmanship. They are still called Cagayanes or masters of carpentry. Thus, Filipinos are excellent workmen and with great ability when it comes to art. Thus, I am solemnly proud of my country and being a Filipino.
So history is essential for each one of us, especially to the future generation, because it tackles past events. I've realized that history helps us shape and hold ourselves and understand the behaviors of individuals in the society. So the account of Morga in terms of history provides us a thorough understanding of events in the era of Spanish colonization. The life of the native Filipinos way back in the era of Spanish is quite different from what we have right now in terms of clothing, marriage customs, literacy, government, and religion. Moreover, what occurs in the past would aim us to determine our value as a Filipino. Also, not just attain a sense of belongingness, but also acquire future generation in shaping themselves and to do well in the society. Thus, despite the struggles in the past, we won't achieve this situation in the future and nationalism in the country would prevail. That's all. Thank you. Once again, I am Kyra Veronica Sikatangi.
And I am Era Princess S. Casano.
I'm Joanne Cañati.
And I am Christine Marie Constantino.
Also, I am Marvin J. M. Collado.
And we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.